we'll just cut our potatoes like we normally do. These are some big potatoes though. They make good French fries. I may be slow today, but that's okay too. It's okay too. Well, these are good for baking potatoes. If you like good baked potatoes. But y'all probably, a lot of you can get them if you're in Texas. A lot of my followers are, so they can get them at the Walmart or. These are the kind we used to grow in the field. I'm very cautious with these knives. Used to I just cut and dice and do everything, but now with this low platelets, if I got cut, I mean, I'm not thinking it would, but a person could bleed to death. So I just am very careful with these, as anybody should be. But when I used to, I didn't care. I could chop and go and do. But now I'm a lot more careful because I don't want to cut myself and have to worry about bleeding disorders. So that's why I take it easy. Yeah, I used to. When I'm in the kitchen at the restaurant or whatever, I just whiz and go. So today, we're going to have French fries and catfish. And I hope y'all like French fries and catfish. If you never had it, well, you missed out. I grew up on it as a boy. We'd go fishing in the Red River and catch us some catfish, and it was good times back then, y'all. That's when I had so many memories of the days that my daddy and I would go on these adventures. I remember one day he caught a catfish in the Red River, and its head was that big. He pulled that up out of the river, and I just couldn't believe it. Humongous, humongous. And it was old. He said, "That's an old fat fish." And I don't know if that was the one. There was one that tasted real muddy that we couldn't hardly eat, but most everything Daddy always caught we could eat because he could look at the fish, and if it was too young, of course, he'd throw it back or whatever. Have y'all ever noticed when you're cutting potatoes, there is some kind of magnetism to your knife and your potato? It's the acidity in the potato, and it pulls it to where you can't hardly get your knife off of the potato. Well, it's just a chain reaction. See how that popped? Like when I cut this, see how that's stuck onto that knife, kinda. It's a chain reaction from the potato starch. Because you know, potatoes, you can boil them down and they're real starchy, and I think that's what my grandmother said. They used to boil potatoes and then they'd use the potato juice to put in fabric to starch clothes. When they didn't have starch, they just made it out of potato juice. Stands to reckon. That's a big pan of, a big pot of bowl, a big bowl of potatoes, isn't it? Wish y'all were here because Mother and I'll never eat that many. Let me get Billie Jean's nest kind of picked up here. Let me get these apples, one bowl of apples out of the way. Gosh. I need to sit here and, while that's cooking, and I might do it, I sit here and peel those, or chop them at least. Okay, I'm going to get my big skillet, the big skillet. Now, we'll get that. I'll go in there, and I'll let that get hot, and then I'll tell y'all how to season those. Let me get an onion. What makes a good potato, soft fried potato, is your onion. Can't miss out on, can't forget your onions, y'all. Now today we're not using our Walmart frozen onion, because you got to do this all just like I'm doing it, or you won't get what you deserve. Because this is some old home cooking, but I'm going to tell you, if you don't do it just like old grandma used to do it, it won't taste like it. Those little shells, hulls, skins. Y'all see, I know things, I just forget. We'll get this up, get that up a going, and then we'll take our onion and we'll just dice that up about like that. I thought about making salmon patties. I thought about making salmon, just regular salmon, steamed salmon, poached salmon. I thought about, I didn't know ham, I didn't know what to make today, so we're going to have this. I decided we're going to have this. Now, I think I've got maybe one more big bowl. I've got most of my big bowls full of apples. Let me see if I can find a bigger bowl that I'm not using for apples, because I've got them all full. Oh Lord, I'm always going to break something, tear up something. Well, I'm not sure what I did with my other big bowl. It's here. I just can't see it. My eyes are getting a little worse, y'all, with that macular degeneration. Kind of bothers me, but I'm just going to go and see what I can see. Let me see if I can put the apples. I might can put these apples into this small bowl and stack them. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm not over there by the camera, but y'all know I'm over here. I hadn't left you. I have not left you. Let me rinse out this apple bowl so I can use it. Okay. I can tell that grease is getting hot. I can tell that grease is getting hot. Alright, let me move this knife off here. And let me get this. Oh, now that's a Pampered Chef bowl, and I love it. But that darn mandolin thing that I used, I'll never use it again. I'm going to put some basil oil in it. Just a little oil. I've got some of this sweet cream butter infused olive oil. We'll be trying that out again soon. Got that down at the cooking store. So now we just I just kind of want my potatoes to, I'll put a few in at a time. And I'll salt. Let's set that up there and pepper them. Salt and pepper my potatoes and mix them around, get some of that oregano oil on there. We can probably go ahead and put the rest of those in there. Just salt them. You don't want them to be bland. Well, that's the smoking. Okay, Billy Jean. Let me get some of these potatoes kind of oiled up here. Get the oil on them and the onion. Let's turn that down so we don't pop ourselves. Pop ourselves. Look at that oil. Well, that's a big pan of potatoes, isn't it, y'all? And now, we'll just let them continue to cook down there. And now you can put a little more if you'd like to, put a little more salt, just a little more pepper, just to make sure you've got your final potatoes. Now those will cook on down there, and they'll be soft fried potatoes. Be so good. That's the only kind of potato I used to like. Well, it was the only kind of potato we had. Mother always soft fried them. Granny always soft fried them. Okay. So now, while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to get our catfish mix. So what we're going to do, we've got, let me see, rinse this off. Let me show you something. If there's any little blood spots on your catfish, just cut them off. That's all you gotta do. Just cut you. Sometimes there's some little blood spots, and I don't mess with cooking that. It's nothing wrong with it at all. See, you can tell a catfish because it's gray and white. You can tell the difference in fish because it has that's from that, for them being skinned, it lays some fat on it, and they've got gray on them. So that's the way you can tell about your catfish, mud cat or catfish. Okay, what we'll do then, so I'm going to take my cornmeal, and I'm going to get the bay leaves out. Get my bay leaves out. I'm just going to put about, that should be about a cup and a half of cornmeal. It depends on how big a batch you're doing. Let's go ahead and cut those potatoes from 6 down to about a low. so we can see how they're soft frying. Look at there. We might as well just go ahead and cut them on off because they are done. They are D-O-N-E, done. So let's just kind of slide that off there. Get some of this mess kind of cleaned up. And then I don't know how big a pot I need. Oh, I think I'll be enough to use one of these. I think I'll use one of these skillets for our fish. And I'm going to put some avocado oil in there. Just for some flavor. I think it gives us some flavor. And let that get kind of hot. Let it get not just kind of hot, you want it hot. You want that hot. So we'll turn that on high and get that going. Okay, into this about a cup and a half cornmeal. Then I'd say about probably a teaspoon of onion powder. Then you need a celery salt. I'm going to say a teaspoon of celery salt. Teaspoon of dill weed. Then I like about a teaspoon of paprika. And you can do whatever you want for yours, you know, however you want to do it. Get that mixed around there. Since I put the celery salt in there, I might salt a little bit after, but I will put some black pepper to taste in that. And all you do is take your catfish and just lay it down in there. Get it battered pretty good, see. You want it to stick. You can always tell it's not quite ready. It's got to give a few more degrees, so let's just wait to do that until it gets up pretty good degrees. What I may have to do is, since that's not on that full burner, I may have to get the big old pan and move it out of the way so we can get our fish done. So I can put that big old pan right over here until I get our mess cleaned up and get some of this other stuff off of the cabinet. Okay, now we got that kind of going, y'all. All right, let me get also, you gotta have your a fork. Wonder where my let me see, here's my, I'll just use this wood fork. That'll be fine. Okay. Now, let's put our fish down in there and get it that right there. Get this going. If you don't, you'll miss out. You'll miss out. Batter your fish good. Get that cornmeal on there really good. Kind of poke it down. Have to kind of open it up so nothing like smelling good old catfish you're cooking, because there's nothing else like it. I'm gonna go ahead and put those pieces in there. Kind of adjust this just a hair. You can adjust it around where you can get more of the stuff in there. Make sure you turn it and pay attention to it, because you don't want to burn it. Wouldn't be no good if you burn it. Better get a little plate. I'll get me a plate to put it on. You can tell by your knife, your fork, that's done. You can tell by how quick, see that's kind of, you can tell by how they go into the fish. See how it's just, turn that over. Now we can go ahead and, I've got my hands going on both things. Got a plate in one hand and a fish in the other. Alright. We'll get it done. Scoot over that, darn you. Okay. Yeah, okay there. That's why I don't fry a lot of stuff anymore, it's because it's not good for me. Plus, it makes your stove terrible. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. My mother, she adores onion rings. So I buy these onion rings, these great value onion rings, and I'm going to fry her a few just because it's a good idea and because she loves them. That's why. Do that. A couple of these, let me see. I think they're done. Get that one out. If these kind of cool off and I feel like they need to go back to the grease, I'll stick them back in there for a minute. I think. Oh, this one might. And this one. And those are the only two. I like them done and crispy. Real crispy. I'm going to take them out because I don't want them to get mushy. I want them to stay crispy. Let me take a few of these onion rings out. And I'm just going to do a couple just because she likes them. That's enough. That's enough. I still like those little onion rings. So now, we're going to turn the oven off. It's 35:57. I told Granny Pat we might try to do a talk tonight. And I saw her mother was watching, and I saw Granny Pat had made coleslaw, and that's what we need to go with our fish. So Granny Pat, I wish she was here and brought you coleslaw, because we could sure use it. We could sure use it there. All this fried food today, we're going to have to be good for the next month. My cholesterol is not bad, but I just don't think all this grease is good for anybody. So, look at the mess, Billie Jean. Look at the mess that you have caused today. Let me get one of the grease rags and get some of this kind of put up, wiped up. Gotta get our iced tea made and get us the green onion cut, cause there ain't nothing, can't have fried fish and soft fried taters without an onion. Just the way it goes. This I'm going to put down here in the oven so I don't spill that all over the place. Now then. Okay. Let me get our soft fried potato pan back over there. Let me get the rags so we can check it out. Now, there's the soft fried potatoes. Now that's the kind of potatoes I grew up on. And if you've never had them, make them. Just like I showed you. With the onions and everything. Those freeze well too, so I'm not concerned that there's going to be a lot left, because I'll freeze them. I've even took those and made a potato salad out of them later on in the week, and they were absolutely wonderful. So let me get them off of that. I don't want them to keep cooking. So here we go. I'm going to get a little plate. You know how I make Mother's little baby plate. So let me get her some onion rings. She'll like that. She loves her onion rings. And let me get her some fish. I'm using my fingers, but they're clean. I just know, I think she'll eat all that fish. So what I may do is get her some, let me get her a little tray, and I'll get her a little cover, a new little, not new, but it's one that I don't use a lot for her tray. So now we've got our fish and her catfish and those. Move this. And I'll set the catfish over here. And let me get her a plate for her. Let me get her a little plate for her soft potatoes, soft fried potatoes. I don't think she'll eat more than that. I don't think she'll eat more than that, y'all. Okay, that's what we're gonna have. We're having soft fried potatoes, catfish, and the last minute onion rings. But I wish y'all were here to eat with us, because this is gonna be good. We'll get us a little ketchup and we'll get us the onion out, and that's our dinner. We'll talk to you soon. God bless you, and God bless the United States. We really need it. God bless us, and if we have a live, y'all tune in. If you hadn't subscribed, tell your friends to subscribe, because I need more. Thank y'all. Bye-bye.